The hazards of middle-aged drug abuse. Being of a certain age and a certain proclivity for self-exploration and experimentation, it is not only natural, but ethically sound. People give me samples of their medicine. Recently, on a trip back to the left coast, I dug an old pill out of my storage locker, aka the Museum of Dead Roads. I had assumed, since it was what I was expecting to find, and I was slightly more optically differently enabled than usual while my new glasses were being polished, that it was a Tizalam, safer, not technically prohibited tranquilizer. I'd used it before with good results on long plane flights. Good sleep with nice state transition, and importantly, no discernible high. I slipped it into my pocket for a flight later that night. I also, on a whim, retrieved my weighted juggling balls. Just before leaving for the airport, I waxed rhapsodic to my friend about the benefits of a Tizalam, and I broke the last one from the packet and swallowed, not wanting to aggravate the nanny state authority or the latent busybody fascism so common among reality TV Americans. I handed him the empty package with the illegible printing and said, "Google it." He read it as we hurried out the door. Zolpidem. "Oh, that must be the generic name," I replied. Standing in the slaughterhouse, TSA line, I began to feel a bit loopy, unusually so. From my past experience, a Tizalam had few side effects and definitely did not stray into the heavily intoxicated category. But I was feeling odd. My thoughts were developing a distinct echoing effect. The passengers around me were calmly murmuring as if Temple Grandin had designed this holding area herself. So what exactly was happening? The echoes in my head became a repeating word. Zolpidem, Zolpidem, Zolpidem. Oh shit. I accidentally took an Ambien. My experiences with Ambien had been as controlled as possible. Take it in bed, plan on going to sleep, and just submit. I wasn't interested in the hallucinatory side effects, far better medicines for that, and I worried about its sleepwalking amnesic properties. I already have a hard time staying in one contiguous reality without committing occasional crimes in my sleep. In my middle years, I would not voluntarily go gonzo in a hyper-medicated security state. Although, in deference to St. Thompson, Las Vegas might be an exception. Luckily, being a connoisseur of anxiety states, I realized that my sweating and rapid breathing was a result of a panic attack and not the best way to go through security. I breathed through it while repeating the infamous Doctor Who mantra, "Don't blink." I passed through the indignity of the full-body scan and was waiting for my carry-on luggage to pass through, focusing on staying awake and how much I could explain to security if I just took a luxurious nap right there beneath the bared feet and loose trousers of my fellow travelers. I much too calmly watched the conveyor belt pause, and from that marvelously liquid echo chamber from which I received my last epiphany, I heard, "The balls, the balls." So, when the armed TSA guard approached, I put on my best, "I'm bombed to the tits, but unless you're there, you're just going to think I'm a friendly idiot" smile. "Sir, you have, yeah, it's my balls." "What?" Juggling balls. They're like weighted with, metal or something. Like for, exercise. Due to my personal abuse and use of various and sundry sacraments, I was able to channel the police state paranoia into its loving opposite. Just a bunch of lonely, stupid apes here. No need to be alarmed. as I pulled out 3 big red balls and handed them to him. Wow, these must be great for exercise. Yeah, man, they're cool. Can I send them back through? Sure. The new mantra, while I searched half in a nod for my gate, was my favorite. Maintain. The warm amnesia began to settle in. My feet shuffled, and I tripped over invisible edges. About all I remember was my roommate, cuddled up against the window, already asleep, as I gratefully settled into my middle position and went away. 2 days later, I talked to my brother to regale him with my tales of narrow escape. You don't remember calling me? No. You sounded fine, except you were very mumbly, and like you had half swallowed the phone. You told me what was going on, and I told you at least you would sleep on the plane. Okay, this is sounding familiar. And I heard them announce boarding and said, look, you're boarding. And you were like, oh, and got off the phone. Thanks. You probably saved my ass. The truth is, kids, if you're going to the depths of madness at any point in your life, it helps if you've been there before in controlled circumstances and have a rough map of the territory. As the aforementioned St. Hunter S. Thompson said, I hate to advocate drugs, alcohol, violence, or insanity to anyone, but they've always worked for me.